What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this one here, we're going to be taking an early look at Phyla-Vell. So, we are still in the APK, or the pre-update version of the game, so with that comes the standard disclaimer. This video is brought to you by Netmarble and the Content Creator Club, and everything you see here can still change from now until the final version, so the stats, numbers, buffs, anything like that can change from now until the final build. So yeah, keep that in mind when I go over Phyla here. So let's go ahead and take a look at her. She is actually looking pretty dang strong from the little bit of testing that I have done so far. So we'll go over her skills first. Her tier 2 passive is going to apply to all universal types, so we have another support character here, or at least a support tier 2 buff, and it's going to be increase all attack by 25%, increase skill damage by 25%, and bonus damage by 15%. So we're bringing back the skill and bonus damage, so that's pretty cool. Her first skill here is pretty much just a standard skill. Her second skill, though, has a lot going for it. It has all defense down, which is nice, stacks up to minus 40%, ignores immunity, but we have this massive damage accumulation, which is really good. I can't even remember what Sharon Rogers is, but it looks like it's probably pretty close to what hers is. So we have increase attack by 13.5% for each 1% damage taken. That can go up to 15% of her HP. So we're going to do a little over 200% attack buff here. It's like 202% or something like that, if I remember correctly. So yeah, she's going to get a huge buff here for taking damage, and she has damage immunity for 4 seconds when using this, which is fantastic because we definitely don't want to have her just sit there and take damage with no invincibility or immunity up. The third skill is just a standard skill. The fourth skill, we have some more all defense down, which is nice, and this time it stacks up to minus 55%, so a little bit better than the second skill there. The fifth skill is going to have a heal on it, which is nice, only 5.5%, but it's for 2 seconds, so it actually heals for a little bit more than I thought, because I think that ticks for 4 times, because I think it goes twice for each second. I could be a little off on that, but I kind of remember seeing it 3 or 4 times. But anyway, she has 4 seconds of invincibility as well, which is fantastic. She has all attack increased by 35%, same with all defense, and then she has a little bit of all speed there with 1%. Her passive is going to apply to self, give her super armor, all defense by 30%, and it reflects 25% of energy damage. So yeah, she's looking quite strong, and her leadership is going to be increase energy defense by 50%, which, I mean, that can be useful in certain situations. So those really strong leaderships like that for defense are rarely used, but yeah, they have their niches. So it's mainly that damage accumulation that's going to make her really powerful, because I was trying her out a little bit against Cold Obsidian, and when she gets that accumulation going, she hits like a truck. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. And with that super armor, you don't even have to worry about her getting guard broken. So she's actually a very good character for just like face tanking. We have overdrive on her, and I was trying her out with the ACTP of destruction, again just for the damage proc to see how well she times with a proc, because I believe she has an 8-second cooldown. Yeah, she has an 8-second cooldown on the 5th skill, which that can throw off the timing a little bit. So there are just a few gaps in her rotation between the immunity and the iframes. So yeah, she does take a bit of damage, so that heal does help out. So that's my only complaint with her, is that slight gap, which is mainly has to do with the 4th skill. So let's go ahead and hop into a little bit of gameplay, and then I can show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so here we are at Cold Obsidian. I'm using the same team that I've been using for Darkhawk and Nova, so we can kind of get a good comparison just between them here on the APK. So let's go ahead and load in. It's also the exact same stage as well for Cold Obsidian. Alright, so what I like to do for my rotation here is I start off with the 4th skill to get that all defense down, and then I hop into the 2nd skill to get that accumulation, and then we finally go back to the 5th skill, and the 5th skill is the one that you're going to try to proc on. So let's go ahead and load this up here. Alright, we'll switch on over, and right there is my slight complaint with the 4th skill. As you can see, she does a few slashes of the sword before she gets into the iframe, so she ends up taking quite a few hits because of that. So that bleed damage from Cold Obsidian can start to rack up there, and that can be a little bit annoying. It looks like we've kind of messed up our rotation here. So let's do this. Go into the third skill. The third skill is a full iframe as well, which is fantastic. So you can use the third skill to kind of get out of trouble if you run into you know, a moment where you can't really avoid the attack, or if you need to cancel out one of your skills that you're already in. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got the fifth skill hopefully lined up for the proc here. So now let's go again. Okay, and as you can see, the damage starts to get pretty nasty when she gets that accumulation built up. So here we go, and boom. But like I said, see those few hits right there before she actually gets into the iframe? That can cost you a lot of health. So you can avoid that with one way by canceling the fifth skill before it completely finishes. So the invincibility from the fifth skill will carry over to the fourth skill. So let's go ahead and try again. See, we got clipped there. Oh, and we actually died this time. Let me go ahead and restart this. All right, so as I was saying, let's just go ahead and do this. See how many hits we take there. Then we get into the second skill. Finally move over to the fifth skill. But there, if we cancel out of the fifth skill just a little bit early, we can get into the fourth skill a lot safer. But we lose out on that damage there. Let's see, where's our proc's on the second skill right now. So here we go, slash, and go right now. So it'll just be kind of getting used to her timing, because it's a little bit of an awkward spot that that you need to cancel at. So it's not, you know, very easily noticed. So there we go. We need to get into the fourth skill. And then there we go, back into the fifth. And we cancel. Because, yeah, see, it takes a good, like, second and a half to get into the fourth skill. So that's my only complaint with her. Besides that, her damage is great. Her survivability outside of that one little glitch is fantastic, because she has the invincibility and the damage immunity, and then, of course, iframes to fall back on. So if you don't mind losing a little bit of damage there from the fifth skill, you can just cancel a little bit early and be completely safe. So yeah, see, there we go. As I'm canceling a little early, you can tell the damage is definitely a little worse, but again, it's better than dying, so yeah. And the timing, yeah, it's just something you gotta get used to, because, ow, he's doing the purple attack. Alright, well, he's switching over. But yeah, as you can see, her damage is great, so I'm actually really liking Phyla-Vell here. She's looking like a very strong character. Again, I haven't really played around with her enough to really get used to her skill rotation. It looks like it's going to probably be a little bit of a tricky skill rotation to really get the timing down, to get her fully protected and to maximize your damage. So keep that in mind. You might have to practice a little bit to get the most out of her, because if you're just kind of trying to stick to the rotation like I am, and you haven't really got the timing down for like canceling or anything like that, that fourth skill can really be your downfall for getting hit while trying to lead up to that iframe. And Phyla-Vell is going to be a shifter character. So if we go here, she's going to be just like Victorious. You can only get her as a bio shifter. Wait, what am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Oh, wait, that's in Korean, so that doesn't help me. Let's go ahead and hop over to the epic quest here. And then if we go to, I think it's in the vault. Yeah, we'll go here. There she is. She is a shifter, and you do get 10 biometrics of her just through the epic quest itself to actually unlock her. Then you have to farm the rest here for shifter bios, or just go ahead and use rank up tickets on her. I'm probably going to use a mega rank up ticket on her, because I still have one from the last token shop that I can throw on her, because she does seem like a really strong character. And if you want to get gladiator, you're going to need her at tier 2. But again, she seems like a really strong character, so I think she'd probably be worth the investment. I just need to do a little more testing on her. She's probably going to hit really hard with like ACTP of Rage or something like that with that accumulation. So yeah, she's going to be pretty nasty. But here on the APK, since I don't have a lot of stat bumps really for like cards and stuff like that in terms of the support stats, I can't really get her dodge and her crit rate maxed out. So that's why I haven't really showcased anyone with CTPs of Rage, because I'm gonna have to like invest in getting a whole mess of mythic like dodge Uru and crit rate Uru, and I do not have a lot of gold to be fusing Urus, so that's not really something I can do very easily on APK here. But I am going to actually try her out with the ACTP of Energy to see how much that will increase her damage. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. Alright, so I swapped out the CTP of Destruction for the Energy. We have a 200% proc energy, so I'm expecting to see quite a big jump in the damage here. At least that's what I'm hoping. You know what? I'm going to start with the 5th skill here, so I have that invincibility, and hopefully proc towards the very end there. Alright, so let's Try to stall here. Let's get that going. All right. Are we going to get it? A little bit. Alright. Alright, how about now? Ooh, there we go. That was looking pretty good. Alright, let's go again here. We need to get that to activate earlier. Ooh, that damage is looking nice. Hey, come back here. Don't run away from me. Blast him. Oh, that was a little bit late there on the proc. Come on. Ooh, yeah, that damage is looking pretty good. So CTP of Energy might work really well on her. Yeah, because I mean, she may not have a ton of hits, but there's enough chain hits on that fifth skill that it starts to add up. So yeah, I like a CTP of Energy on her. You can get away with just a regular damage proc, because as you saw, she was doing just fine with the CTP of Destruction, and that's basically just a regular obelisk with guard break immunity, crit damage, and then a damage proc. If you wanted to use her a little bit in PvP, then yeah, CTP of Energy can get you that penetration, but it's not really going to be too noticeable, I don't think. So she needs like native penetration or pierce to be able to do some PvP. But yeah, overall, she's looking good. I like her skill set. She does great damage. She can use just a regular obelisk or regular damage proc obelisk. You can throw a CTP of Energy on her to take advantage of some of that chain hit. And then also, I'm guessing that a CTP of Rage is going to look pretty nasty on her, just because she's going to have a really high attack stat with all of that boost from the second skill. And then with that, on top of the ignore defense from the Rage, yeah, I see her hitting really hard. So I can't wait to try that out, hopefully on my main accounts when I unlock her, but we will see. But that's going to be it for this video here. I've kind of rambled on enough, so let me know what you think of Phyla-Vell, if you're excited to get her, if you're going to build her up, or if you're just going to get her to 5 stars for Beta Ray Bill and then just kind of leave her there. But if you wanted to get Gladiator, of course you will need to upgrade her, but on the other side you also need Nova for Gladiator, so that means you would have had to buy the deluxe pack. So yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts on her, but that's gonna be it for this video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.